All right, you guys, I've got some unexpected travel today, so I've got to get this done as quick as possible. I apologize. I know it's not the normal format, but there's some things I feel the need to share, so I figured I would just get this screen share done and post it. Yeah, apologize for the change in format. But anyways, guys, we got a constructive close on the SPY back over prior all-time highs, a little bit of selling in the morning session, so the tariff ruling was pushed again. A little frustrating for them to dangle such a likely major catalyst over our head as they are. It is what it is, though. And then also we had major banks, a few more major banks report. I believe their earnings were fine, but the reactions to them were negative. So we have the last of the majors reporting this morning pre-market. I'd love to see some of those get positive reactions. That would be helpful. We gotta have we gotta have financials as a part of a move higher if we're gonna have legs, and we also need tech, and we really don't have either. Let's look at financials here. Okay, we need this guy back over prior all-time highs. That would be constructive, but we're getting a reaction off the 50. Let's see if we can get back over prior all-time highs, and then back over the 9 would be the next step in the right direction there. The VIX was a bit elevated, but does seem to have sold off later in the day. We had RSP closing at all-time highs. Great look there. Suggestive of broad positioning because we were a little weak on most of the Mag 7 again. I would really like to see that change as well. Let's hit adjust. Guys, if anybody knows why these charts keep shifting for me and I have to hit adjust every time I look at my indexes, I would really appreciate if anybody knows something I can do differently there. But that yellow line should be right about here. It was just down here. Anyways, guys, we're getting all-time high close here in RSP, and then IWM, I believe, was not far behind or far off of an all-time high close itself. Yeah, see, this is why I really hate doing this format, because everything is a little bit laggy as I try to screen record. Sorry, guys. I just feel the need to get this one out, as stressful as today's going to be with this unplanned must-travel situation. Yeah, actually, no, we got an all-time high close there in IWM as well. So good look, guys. Good look. Okay. Yeah, things look good. We even have crypto seeming to hold its progress, which it's not been able to do for months here, right? It's actually getting a little bit of follow through on this move. Just do be aware, guys. We're coming right up into resistance of both the psychological level of 100,000 and the bottom end of the long-term trend here on Bitcoin. All right, we're coming right up into that, so we need to be aware of that. A build above would be very positive, but if we stall out and start to roll back over, I would just stay away for now. Okay, if we breach this cyan line, it's a short. Okay, it just is what it is. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that about crypto, but look, we're in this range still, so a build above would be positive. Okay, so I would personally be waiting for that before, any new money longs into this move. Maybe if you got it down here, sure, this flag breakout, okay. Flag breakout being this up day, and we flag sideways inside of its range for a couple of weeks, right? A little bit of a flag breakout there that did hold and push us up higher. Constructive price action, encouraging price action right now in crypto, but again, last time, do be aware of the structure we're running right into. All right. So yeah, guys, that is what I'm seeing there in the markets. My main share yesterday in chat was GLXY. Let me get this watch list pulled up here. Okay, GLXY on the It was, I believe it's a daily and a weekly trigger. I know that it was a daily over the 50 here. Come on, charts. There we go. Yeah, clean trigger there on the daily. Looks like we're getting our change of character. Don't feel the need to chase this at this point. I think yesterday was the entry. What we can look for now, because it is changing character on a decent bit of volume, if we can get some follow through in the markets, guys, the next triple R after change of character is a very high probability trade. Okay, so do not feel the need to chase it now if you weren't able to grab yesterday. All good, all good. And then we've got, oops, Alright. This is not how I'm used to doing things. Okay, LITE. L-I-T-E. I do really like this. Be aware that we have TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor earnings after the bell Thursday, today. So, you know, that should move things around. You know, I'm hopeful of the scenario where we get a positive action to these remaining majors, the banks, a positive reaction to those. Getting that XLF back over the prior all-time high, and then get a good report out of TSM, which would get semis, that whole sector very likely moving again. Maybe then we have financials and tech as a part of this move, right? We have so many other things. There's other sectors. I would say resources as a whole is so hot right now, okay? Space remains hot. I haven't looked at the drones, but I'm pretty sure the drones are still hot. Yeah, just energy yesterday was hot, and, you know, resources remains very, very strong. Okay, the UUUU position is looking great. I'm into profits on the stop there on that. Another push today should get us up around 100%. Should hit our targets, which will likely be around 100% on those contracts, which I will pay the trader. My point on LITE was that if we do get a positive reaction in financials and banks, if we get a good pump out of tech as well, that would just be very good for a follow-through into this move. I think that would get the SPY back to all-time highs. I would think that would maybe very likely get the RSP following through, continuing higher. That would just really be a good look. Okay, so I really like LITE. It's not a semiconductor, but it is in the AI space, which if TSM has a good report, I expect the whole AI space to get a bit of lift off of that. Okay, we have to wait. We have this, that is speculation, but it is what I expect. Okay, but anyways, if we can get a clearance of this range on LITE, I do like it through the 366 area. Okay, it's a simple retracement reaction at around our level, remount of the 9, and clearing that range would be very attractive for me there on LITE. All right. Tesla, Amazon, INCY. All right, let's do INCY. This looks pretty good on a triple R trigger for me. Yeah, retracement reaction at around our level. Okay, pulling right back into that structure, reacting off the 50. So retracement reaction at around our level, remount of the 9. Very attractive for me here. This did trigger yesterday. You could look for a clearance of this range for continuation. So through yesterday's high on INCY. Tesla is still holding up. This thing is having trouble getting any legs on its moves or follow through. You know, it's got to clear this range, but that would align with the triple R trigger retracement reaction. Okay, that would align with the triple R trigger and clearance of that range. So through the 454, call it that. I like Tesla. Amazon giving a possible, might give us another chance at an entry here. Amazon's hot, guys. I know it had that big shake day, but it did not break structure. That being this day right here, right? It did not break structure. We've pushed up, cleared our prior all-time high levels. That would be actually all the way over here. So cleared our prior all-time high levels, and we're just pulling back below recent all-time highs, or below all-time highs. Anyways, we're getting a retracement. Let's see if we get a reaction here right around this prior resistance remount. So through yesterday's high would be a retrigger for me on Amazon. Guys, stuff like Microsoft broke. Let's look at it. MSFT. I'm pretty sure they just broke the major support. The last line they were holding on to. And what else do we got? All right, we got one more. We'll check out Microsoft real quick here. This is a nasty look. We need this to invalidate, but yeah, look, man, we need this to invalidate pretty quickly. We can't lose the majors. I'm sorry, we can't lose the Mag 7. I'm pretty sure Netflix still looks nasty. Let's look at Apple. Let's see if Apple has done anything. It was certainly selling off. Guys, sorry for the delay, and you know, I got to get it done the way I can. You know, I think there is some value here, so I appreciate you bearing with me. All right, Apple stabilizing just a little bit. Look at that, doing so right there around support. If we can get this to triple R, I wouldn't hate it. No, we've got that 50 too far above. Apple's a no-go for me right now. Okay, we did lose like AVGO yesterday as well. Let's look at Google, and then I'll give you my last name on watch. Yeah, it's worth looking at. Gosh, come on. I might be able to cut these out on this software. I do hope so. Google, you know, we need another retracement reaction, remount of the 9. All right, so Google's running off on us. That's helping. That is helping. Okay, I like what I see there. MP was another one that I've been talking about quite a bit that did trigger recently. Anyways, last one. Let's look at FUTU. Let's look at FXI first. Take a look at the China ETF. Not my favorite sector. It's just so headline sensitive. You know, there's too much headline risk there for me. If I do anything in China, it would be I would control my size. All right, this ETF does look stable. Okay, we've got a bit of a change in character back over our moving averages, so I don't hate, that's not going to work for me. I don't hate what I see here. As we've changed character, pulled back, we seem to be holding it. A little push higher on this, and I like something like FUTU. Okay, trying to break out of this range, which it did. It's pulling right back into the area, retesting it. Back over yesterday's high would be a remount of the 9 if China is going. I don't hate this at all, and if you zoom out here, we've got a long-term cycle, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. But we are loading just below all-time highs, handling out on this, right? Cup, handle, you know, maybe go quarter size in this, both because of the headline, the China sector. I don't usually go full size around in China. I have not in a while, since 2024. But anyways, look, the play here is trying to get into a quarter size here if China stabilizes, if tariffs are removed, and that affects China positively. You know, you're loaded quarter size here with clean structure to risk off of, not a lot of risk. And the bigger idea here is a breakout that pulls back, holds. You can go to full size and be a part of a bigger move. You could do this in shares because we are looking for a pretty big move here. Or look, you could do contracts and just take smaller trades, right? Okay, if you got into contracts here, you could probably be at a 2R right around all-time highs, you know, and be somewhere 60 to 200% depending on the contracts you chose. You know, I see a trade here. I see a trade. Not my favorite. I like LITE. Oh man, I really liked GLXY. I think I'm favoring LITE today. I'm favoring LITE. So that's the deal, guys. The market looks stable. We had some buy side. Take a look at internals quickly here. Guys, if you want these charts, just comment. I will put a link to them in your comment. All right, so internals were strong yesterday, guys. Strong. We had accumulation. All right, we favored buy side. Okay, it's that simple. All right, where things looked a little bit nasty in the morning session, rolling over, we were pretty stable above the zero line in everything, and even climbing in the up down volume. So we had inflow. It's just that simple. We had inflow. We had the RSP closing. We got solid breadth. Let's take a look at one more set of charts. Close without saving. Same deal, guys. If you want these charts, comment. I will give them to you. Yeah, upticks in the stocks over the 5,200-day moving average. Pretty much a flat day in the high-low index. Stocks making new highs versus new lows. So, neutral to slightly bullish look here throughout breadth. Okay, throughout breadth. I would say RSP and IWM that was a bullish